Welcome back to Mega Man X The Command Mission. Last time, we learned that Bodos is here. We didn't actually learn that last time, this is a spur-of-the-moment thing.
Hey!
Whoa, I got caught! I'm not owned!
Botos!
You're owned!
Well, hello, X. You're early.
We know all about what the Rebellion Army is trying to do with the Super Force metal you got your hands on.
And there's no way we're gonna let you get away with firing that missile of yours. Not under our watch.
Clever.
Looking at
We
things.
know about the missile.
You must have taken several photographs of it and put them all together.
To your devious plans.
Fabulous. But do you know about the warhead? We cadres have the keys to the warhead, you see. The warhead is locked unless you put the two keys together.
You also have to heat one up and cool the other down.
Fine then. In that case, I guess the only thing for us to do is just to take the key from you.
Oh, no, you can't just do that.
So, you really think it's that easy?
I sure do.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's Bodos, the guy whose ass we kicked really easily like 10 minutes ago. Whatever will we do?
You don't know when to quit, do ya?
Oh no, enemy Blitzkrieg. So yes, he gets the first turn so he can summon his Bodos trio. The thing is,
Here you go.
you just need to hit him once and you're good. Yep, that's it, that's all.
Strong, yes, very strong.
But not enough to avoid the wacky seed music.
Not now.
You fool! I had the operation that makes me a gag manga character, so you can't take me down! Well, there goes Bodos. So anyway, before I was rudely interrupted, I was going to say that we discovered that the only place they could be making Super Force Metal is in the big Force Metal production facility, which I feel like we could have figured it out on our own, even without the other information. We didn't really need to go through that much, but whatever, it's fine. We'll proceed through things in the order they were given in. But today, I actually wanted to talk about Epsilon for a bit, because last time we learned that, indeed, as the game said, the true purpose of all that Super Force metal is to cram it all into one big Bodos goddammit. Are you actually going to do anything this time? So anyway, it's just one of these. You just have to follow the real Bodos. After a loading screen. So yeah, just follow him this way, and... Nya! Like Nya, see? And yeah, for some reason we fight him again. Same thing as last time, but he gets all the turns.
Do ya?
Bodos is flustered.
It's over.
So yeah, just like the previous fight, it's not actually a real fight. He'll just run away immediately, and we just have to deal with the Bodos trio, except it's sans Bodos, so it's just these weirdos. So yeah, that's Bodos this chapter. If you thought he was easy last time, that was probably on purpose. He seems to be kind of a wimp. It hasn't even been a full chapter since we fought him, and he's already kind of the wacky joke character.
Here goes.
Anyway though, yeah, so we discovered that the Rebellion's big plan is to cram Super Force metal into a missile. Not to blow anything up, is the thing. You would assume like, oh yeah, a big warhead full of Super Force metal, it explodes, kills many people. No, that's not the point. The point is to basically just fry everybody's brains, and then I guess at that point they like the rebellion. Just explode a missile, and then everybody in the Northern Hemisphere is like, honestly, I could do without humans. So yeah, they just want to make everybody go Maverick. Also, yeah, let me just, put X over here. So, we actually want to double back because I didn't want to live through the embarrassment of having Bodos get one over on me. So, you know, I had to do the right thing first, and then get the figure token. And now we're in a fight, so who's new? Who does something interesting? What are we dealing with? Okay, it's just more of these guys. The guy on the right we saw in the Eternal Forest, he's kind of like the other missile guys, but he's got freeze missiles, which I believe I did actually run it at one point in the Eternal Forest. They're actually kind of vicious. You don't want to get hit by them. But yeah, the other guy I believe is a medic of some sorts. Not that he lived to tell the tale. Oh wait, sorry, heavy gravity, not freeze. So yeah, basically just gonna try to cut our HP with missiles. Which I guess in fairness is sort of what most enemies do with missiles. It's just, you know, usually not gravity elements. Anyway. Like I keep attempting to say, Rebellion wants to blow up a missile near everybody, so they hate humans. And I will say, I do think that's actually kind of interesting. It's, I think, better than just giving the Rebellion a weapon to just kill people with. Because, like, part of it is, they've been playing Epsilon very close to their chest throughout most of the game. And that can turn out a few different ways in a storyline. I know one end of the spectrum is Earthbound. That end of the spectrum does not show villain, but that actually makes it a ton more effective. It is in fact better that you never see or talk to or even cut away to the villain at any point in the storyline. I don't actually know what the other end of the spectrum is. I feel like that's a situation where, like, I know platonically the kind of thing I don't like, where it's just, yeah, the villain's never really present and it feels like they should be. But I can't really think of a specific example.
You don't know when to quit, do ya?
Same could be said about you, Bodos. Same could be said about you. But yeah, no, in terms of that scale, Epsilon is certainly not at the Earthbound end of things. But I don't think it's necessarily an issue that you don't see him a lot for the entire game. Ignoring the fact that this is the first time we've ever seen a dark-skinned character in my playthrough of the Mega Man game. Where's not quite white, I guess? Okay, there's been one character who's not quite white that we've seen in both the Classic and the X series, so kinda sucks that he isn't that present for that reason. But honestly, I feel like they do a pretty good job of kind of keeping you in the dark about what Epsilon is like, and for most of this game you could probably just assume, oh yeah, he sucks. The Rebellion seem like jerks, but like, that was kind of the first half of the game, you know? Like, we had one guy threaten to blow up a pretty sizable residential area, another guy had a prison camp. But at the same time, while they were members of the Rebellion, also, Bodos just ran to a room without doing a thing. And we can't go into either one of those rooms, so, guess our path is pretty obvious. Bodos, you in here, buddy?
Well, I knew you boys were still alive.
Yeah, that's right.
You
I
don't
just
know
let you
when
go.
to give up,
I knew the quicksand wouldn't kill you.
You!
I'm not surprised at all. I'm not owned.
Calm down. Form a line if you have to. I'll make sure each one of you gets it.
I'm nothing if not efficient. Anyway, it's Ferham.
Don't be shy. Step right up. You love
Alright, she's very patient. She's got the whole night ahead of her. Anyway, yes, Ferham. 50,000 life energy. She is weak against thunder, strong against water. In terms of her various moves, nothing too bad with her standard strike. It's kind of just a single hit, nothing too bad. She's got Giga Blizzard, as implied by the fact that she is strong against water. She's also got Terra Blizzard, which sucks. Bloody Snake is just close range entire party. That hurts. It's better than her single target. And then, okay, so this one is more interesting, but less ruthless. Crimson Shade. She creates a trace image. Does that sound familiar? It should. That's the thing Zero does. So in essence, she is giving herself an extra attack. Well, I mean, you should already know how that works. Again, that is exactly Zero's Heat Haze ability. So she actually works pretty well as a foil to Zero in that regard. She's kind of got an even move with him there, but for one, she's flying, so she's actually pretty hard to hit. So in terms of how they stack up in combat, you might need something extra to get Zero to actually hit her. You might not want to do double Heat Haze, because then he might just straight up miss a bunch. It's fewer attacks, but you might also get no attacks. Holy shit, I forgot about her scream. Oh my god, that's funny. Yeah, so they just threw a snake in her booth when she was voicing lines for Ferham. So yeah, as with certain character or boss abilities, if you deal 1800 damage, then you can remove Crimson Shade. Her last move is Sonic Blizzard, which is 3 water hits, entire party, can hit you with freeze. Which, admittedly, we haven't seen much of. Like, there were enemies with freeze, but they were ones who could, you can prevent them from actually doing that, so... I don't think we've ever actually witnessed freeze. We actually haven't witnessed a lot of the enemy abilities. Well, actually, no, I think I've been hit by DOA before. Poisons happened. Bind has procced. So actually a decent amount have gone through. But freeze is not one of them. And is somebody familiar with Pokemon? I'm fine with not getting frozen. Anyway, though, yeah, Ferham, she's really not that difficult. Honestly, the fact that she doesn't have any summons, I would say, is her biggest weakness. Her greatest strength, of course, is the fact that she is flying, and unlike Mach Gendra, you cannot ground her. Accumulated damage is to stop her Crimson Shade move, not to actually make her vulnerable to close-ranged things. That being said, Ultimate X. So yeah, we've got just the regular sub-weapons. And then we have this. Yeah, so there's a reason that Ultimate X is something you need to fight a secret boss for. He's brutal. You just get a final attack in a single character when you use his action trigger. Like, it's kind of ridiculous. The one thing that prevents it from being truly overpowered is just the fact that both of X's hyper modes replace his sub-weapons. So even if you have something to give him weapon energy, if you go into hyper mode, you cannot actively use that. You have to use his other sub-weapons instead, or just turn back into regular form. If he could just use a weapon energy refill, though, it would be disgusting. But yeah, the other nice thing is, of course, that is shot damage, so it's not really gonna miss Ferham.
That felt good.
Also, yeah, Bloody Snake isn't gonna do much. Cause, like, yeah, Axel's invisible, X is in hyper mode, which is... I mean, Invisible's also hyper mode, but it's a different status at this point. I can take damage, I just take less of it, and Cinnamon is just kind of vicious by this point. She's just kind of a powerhouse. Again, she's the Est. Right, so that's Ferham. Harder than Bodos for certain.
You're really something else.
Thank you, that's nice of you to say. So yeah, better tricks up her sleeve than Bodos, and she can actually use them. Still not that difficult at this point in the game. Alright, so Marno actually got a new action trigger, and Axel did not, because Ferham's not dead. You'll never get my DNA!
Hey! She's one of the cadres!
What?
The key! Gotta go get the key!
Ah, god damn it. So yes, we've beaten the boss of the chapter, but I hope you're ready for backtracking! Yeah, you know where she landed, the silo is a pretty distinct area. But I will admit, kind of an annoying way to pad out the chapter.
Shoot! Those brats!
Or whip them in my case.
Botos, listen here. Don't be so quick to write me off.
Actually, Ferham, the fact is, the commander made an emergency call. He wants us to gather up the Supraforce metal and retreat back to the base.
Retreat?
Epsilon wants to be sure they don't get their hands on the metal.
Well, they won't get their hands on the metal if we just launch the damn missile.
Need your key now.
Wait a minute. The warhead key, it is built into my body.
Damn, really?
I can't just hand it
Not
over.
built in the mine. Sucks for you.
Scarface's permission.
Forget him! Now, Ferham, the key!
Oh, you got owned by Bodos? Oh, you're never gonna live this down, Ferham. You are never gonna live this down. Well, I guess the good news about the fact that we're backtracking is I do get to finish my thought from earlier. A lot of the beginning of the game Mavericks definitely paint the Rebellion in a very bad light, but while they're not good, certainly, they're trying to fry everybody's brains, they're not necessarily going for mass slaughter. And like, we've seen a bit of Scarface and now we've met Ferham properly. They're dedicated to the Rebellion, but they're not just as kind of wantonly evil as some of the early game bosses. They actually seem to believe in something this time around. Which is more than I can say about, like, I don't know. Silverhorn, that guy seemed like he just wanted to torture prisoners, if I'm being honest. Didn't believe in the cause, just like stepping on people. Anyway, back to the silo. There's Ferham. Rip.
Strange. This is terrible damage.
And I mean, like, we kicked her ass, but not this badly.
X.
You can't fight anymore. Now give us the warhead key.
The key. Botos.
Botos? He has it?
You got your ass kicked by
Are you
Bodos? Damn.
serious? You mean Bodos attacked his own teammate and ripped the key from her body?
That's what it looks like.
Why is the key built into her
Okay,
body? That seems
let's
like a
find
dick
him.
move.
She can't fight like this anyway. We should concentrate on both.
Yeah, I'm gonna need some aftercare. This went a little far. So now we have to backtrack to the place we were just in. Okay, I did say I like this chapter, but I definitely like the first half more. I like that air of mystery. This a little less so. I mean, I guess they sort of justified it but it's also really annoying to do, so I don't care that they justified the order of operations. Anyway, here's Reflexion. Kill them all. Damn, sucks for you guys.
That wasn't too bad.
But yeah, the fact that we didn't really get to see much of Epsilon at the start of the game definitely makes you get to this point and wonder, like, okay, so he's not just gonna randomly murder people as the head of the rebellion. You know, he still needs to be stopped so he doesn't brain fry all of the Reploids in the north. But, like, he at least has a plan.
I did it! I did it!
I did a backstab! Go me!
With all this Supra Force metal, I'll be more powerful than Epsilon himself! Stupid Epsilon! Stupid rebellion!
Honestly, I probably shouldn't really be part of a rebellion anyway. Being from the South, people might get the wrong idea. By which I mean Dr. Psyche, who kept asking me if I was in the Confederacy, and it's like, no! I don't just join stuff cause I'm a bigot. I'm just an asshole.
I think you might be onto something.
Hey, wait a minute, that voice sounds familiar. And yet he didn't even give us a call. Ah well, anyway, yeah, there's a bunch of cutscenes, so that's why this backtracking exists. Again, I find it's a little more annoying, so it's technically justified, still kinda sucks. But yeah, now we're kinda questioning, like, okay, what exactly is the Rebellion Army about, and like, who is Epsilon as a person? When he confronted us at the start of the game, he did seem very composed, but, you know, that could have been a lie. He could just be a huge dick. But, you know, now it's kind of seeming like, maybe he does actually believe in his cause, which, I gotta say, puts him above Sigma. I feel like Sigma, even in his greatest state of mind at the start of the series, was kinda just more in it for killing human beings. Like, he said he wanted Reploids to be free, but I don't know. It seems like Epsilon is closer to Repliforce than Sigma. Cause yeah, no, again, Sigma has always been a little more kill humans than help Reploids, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, dude hired Vile first and foremost. Look, Vile wants there to be a war so he can do war crimes. He's not horny enough for regular crimes anymore. He can't just do a robbery. He has to use chemical weapons. It's the only thing that makes him feel alive now. But yeah, if you hire Vile, you clearly care more about just destroying things than actually helping anybody. And I mean, look, Epsilon doesn't have the best help, but in fairness, his entire upper management is just the guys he woke up with, so it could also be seen as him having kind of a bad hand. Look, he'll hire Wild Django because he was like one floor down, but he's not going to like it. I guess to be fair, some of the other early game bosses weren't terrible, like, I think Dr. Psyche kinda liked the cause, at least he said he did. Same with Mach Gentra. Alright, so, with that though, this has kinda been a very scrambled chapter. I've been interrupted a lot, but we are just about at the end of it, so, yeah, here we are, last room and last cutscene.
He's dead.
Damn, somebody really went scorched earth on this guy.
Superforce metal too.
I think we're dealing with General Sherman.
Just what happened here?
It looks like somebody scalped him with a playing card. But who could have done that?
Anyway, though, yeah, that is it for Chapter 8 of Mega Man X Command Mission. Next time, we actually do a little bit of story before getting back into optional stuff.